Math. There really is no middle ground with math. You either like it or you don't. And if you don't, you're likely not very good. And if you're not very good, you struggle with problems. You fall behind. And if you fall behind, it's really hard to get caught up. Take simple examples. Exponents, simplification, finding the midpoint, linear equations, and perpendiculars, scientific notation, combinations, percentages, odds and probabilities, exponents, trigonometry, fractions, logarithms, and many more. There are many strategies, of course, to solve problems like this, and I often wonder if the more strategies there are, the harder it seems to get. Let's take a couple of examples and see if it has to be that hard. For example, let's take that exponent problem. X to the 17th times x to the 14th. Now we know the answer is probably I add these numbers together or I multiply them. But which one is it? Well, forget that problem for a second. Let's think of a simple example. Suppose I took 5 to the third, 5 to the first. I know by the nature of exponents that's 5 times 5 times 5, and then times 5. This equals 5 to the fourth. And if 5 to the third times 5 to the first equals 5 to the fourth, I know that the rule for dealing with exponents is I add them. And if in this case I add them, and this is my initial problem, then I know that the solution is x to the 31st. Very, very simple. What about midpoint? I know midpoint. I'm supposed to add the numbers together and divide by 2. Or is it subtract the numbers and divide by 2? Or do I just subtract them? It's likely one of the three. Well, let's think of a simple example. Suppose I just take two numbers, 2 and 8. What's the midpoint of these two numbers? It's 5. How did I get it? I added the numbers together and divide by 2. And if that's the method to find the midpoint, and if these 2 points are the points I want to find the midpoint of, then the solution is 6, 5. Very simple. The goal of this is to use a simple, single thinking process to solve all of the problems previously displayed, plus many, many more. This does not have to be that hard. Trigonometry, fractions, exponents, statistics, midpoints, logarithms, quadratics, scientific notation, percentages, odds, and many, many more. Moving from being taught lots of strategies to solve all these problems that take a lot of time, and it often ends up with us just guessing, moving towards a single thinking process that works quickly. And as you've seen, the student is left with complete confidence in their answer. For more information, visit equalsclub.com.